All right, hi everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming to the StreamNet presentation. So we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, so first of all, our project, our sponsors or the company is with UNL School of Natural Resources. So we've been working closely with some faculty and students from that department. And specifically for this project, they're interested in how, when, and where nutrients enter streams and lakes. So they're kind of interested in over time how certain water quality metrics change due to nutrients entering streams or seasonal change or other things that can affect those values. And at a high level, what they want is for an application that stakeholders and anyone in the public who's interested in water quality data is a place for them to access water quality information about streams in Scottsbluff County, Nebraska. So to go through our sponsors and stakeholders here, as we already mentioned, the UNL School of Natural Resources faculty, and they work together with the North Platte Natural Resource District for this project, and funding was provided by the Nebraska Environmental Trust. So some of the stakeholders that are interested in this data are environmental managers at Scottsbluff, Gering, and Terrytown, the locations for the sensors that collect the water quality information, the development team, and then two faculty, two UNL faculty that helped us and gave us advice throughout the whole project are Melanie Kugler-Wright and Brady Garvin. And then we'll just go through the development team. So myself, Zach Madsen, I was the squad lead and dev manager. Christine DeSenza was our product manager. Chris Galusha, the person who is also presenting with me, was a developer. And then Jason Rademacher, Matthew Hedberg, and Sean Knowlton were our other developers. And now Chris is going to talk a bit more detail about the product we created.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Chris. I'm one of the developers on the team, and I'll just talk a little bit about sort of the problem that we were faced with and how we planned about going about solving it. So, sort of as Zach was talking about before, Nebraska is an agricultural state, rich with water resources. I think it has more miles of river than any other state in the country. But unfortunately, the use of fertilizer to promote agricultural yields has increased nutrients in those waters, which can result in the growth of unwanted algae and cyanobacteria. It's bad for a couple reasons. First of all, at best, it can be bad for recreation. Just doesn't look good. Gets in the way of things. But at worst, it can also be toxic to animals and humans. And therefore, we need an easy and accessible way to monitor these nutrients in the waters so that we can kind of track these patterns and maybe get a better idea of what's going on in these systems. And so the solution is StreamNet, a novel network of high-frequency aquatic nutrient sensors with an easily accessible web application. StreamNet will be piloted in Scottsbluff, and that region around there in western Nebraska, where sensors will be placed in streams flowing through cropped, ranched, and urban areas. And ultimately, the goal is to provide a user-friendly tool and publicly accessible information that can lead to improved water quality in our state. So yeah, the solution that we built is a website for StreamNet. It's a Node.js and React.js web application. It runs on a virtual server provided by the UNL IT department. And it's publicly accessible right now at streamnet.unl.edu. It's worth noting that the data that's up there right now is just sample data. The sensors are still getting placed and configured properly, but I think we expect that to go into production full time somewhere in this summer of 2021.
Right, and now we just wanted to show some screenshots and to see what the website looks like. So the landing page and the main page on this website is the charts page. So this is where anyone can come and select a water quality metric like nitrate concentration, temperature, pH, and add a chart and see the data plotted out. We mentioned there are there will be 3 sensors, so there are like 3 locations that data is collected, and so you have the ability to filter those locations and then also constrict what time range you want to view on the charts. So this is probably like the main functionality that a lot of users come to the site for, is to see this. And another kind of big piece of functionality is the ability to download the data. So all the data that's shown on the charts page is also available to download in a CSV format. So on the chart page, it would be good if you just wanted to look at something, but if you wanted to do some further analysis, then you could come here and download data. And it's kind of a similar format here where you pick the metrics you want, the locations and the time range, and then the system will output a CSV file for you with all of that information. And it should be noted Chris will talk a little bit about this, but there's an account system. And if you're an approved user, you have the option to download raw data, whereas if you're not approved, you can just download summary data, which is like daily average data. But now I think Chris will talk a bit about those parts.
Yeah, so as he was talking about, because we're providing this this raw data to whoever's interested, we do kind of want to gatekeep that a little bit, just so that not just anyone can get access to at least the raw data. So we had to implement an account and approval system. So what you're seeing here is some screenshots from the account page. It's a pretty basic system just to allow users to register, and then they can, on the right, the rightmost picture there, they can go to this approval form where they can say why they might want access to the data, what their affiliation is, and any sort of justification. And then they can submit that to the StreamNet admins, and then the StreamNet admins will receive an email. And actually, we can go to the next slide quick. They'll receive an email through an approval email system, as you can see that the top one there, saying a user has requested to get access to this data, and then they can choose whether or not to deny or approve them. And then down there at the bottom, the user will get an email like that saying either they were denied or approved. In that case, it looks like he was denied, but I don't think that's something that'll be happening too often. And that's just, I think, primarily a legal issue to make sure that the data isn't just publicly accessible to anyone, at least the raw data, but it is still easily accessible for researchers or farmers or anyone else that's interested in this sort of thing. And then we can move on. So we had to implement an admin panel to allow the StreamNet admins, the sponsors, to go in and see who's using their site, see who's approved, who's an administrator. Just a simple view, just to make sure that they know who's using their site, and maybe they can use that information in the future to send out email surveys or something like that for anything they want to query their user base for. So to move on to some values and highlights of the project. Well, first of all, we have a published website. It's on the internet where anyone can go and get water quality data. As we said, it's not official data yet, but it will be soon. As for the development team, we got exposure to a lot of new web development practices and technologies like React, Redux, TypeScript, and several other database management tools like MySQL, and just a lot more. Some of the team I know had very little experience with web development, so it was really great to get that experience. And finally, it was a really great project and great sponsors. I think we had a lot of fun. It's a good cause. And it was just a really great experience overall, I think. So special thanks to our sponsors, Jessica Corman, Chris Jasinski, Stephen Thomas, Annie Petzel, and Murray Gunther. It was really great working with you. I think most of you were in here. And I'm sure that the rest of the team would agree that it was a really great experience.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks everyone for coming to our presentation. Yeah, if you want to see a live demo of the site, stop by our virtual table.
All right, let's give a virtual applause to our presenters. You can either use the clap emote or type it out in chat. Either works.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.